it's TxStampin Sharon. I am bringing you some tips and tricks on how to save on your designer series paper. If I don't hear once, I hear it a million times. It's too pretty to use. We're going to use that paper and I'm going to show you some different tips, and wait till you see my template. You're going to be shocked. If you've not already subscribed to my channel, you can do so below. After you subscribe, hit that little bell. You'll be notified the next time I upload a video. I upload videos on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. If I can ever help you with any of your Stampin' Up! Supply needs, let me know. I've shared on a previous video how I cut my designer series paper. It is 4 inches by 6 inches, so the paper normally comes 12 by 12. You just get a lot of paper, and I actually loved this paper so much, I think I bought 2 packs. But it has so many different options. In making this card, let me show you the cards. First of all, I used Perennial Birthday. I loved the Happy Birthday. It was a nice size for the punch that I was using. Here's one card. Here's another card. Can you figure out what I did? Here's one card. Here's another card. So if you'll notice, the designer series paper is cut, and I made 2 cards with one little piece of paper. Actually, on this one, I changed up the pattern a bit. But basically 2 pieces of paper I was able to make. So depending on the layout will depend on how many cards you get out of 2 sheets of paper. On this one, I pulled in some gold foil because I loved the gold foil in this paper. I think these are great masculine cards. These are going to be perfect. And you know, this one could be a masculine card. I matted it on black. There's nothing feminine about that card. But I was thinking more along the lines of my grandkids maybe, or something like that. But yeah, I mean, these cards are pretty much neutral. I mean, they could be used for anyone. First, we're going to make this card. Instead of using my gold foil, I decided to go ahead and use some designer series paper that comes in that pack, because I got to thinking, what if you at home don't have gold foil? I get it. So it already has a gold foil pattern in the pack, so let's use it. By the way, guys, this beautiful paper is going away, and it makes me sad because I think this makes a great masculine card, and those are always so hard to do. Okay, I have trimmed up this piece. I have made it so it was cut already at 4 inches. I cut it at 5 1/4, okay, because it needs to fit on our card base. So for this card, I lined it up with the 3-inch mark, and I did my cut. Because I need to cut this paper the same way, I need to make sure that they're both going to match up. Does that make sense? Okay, there we go. So we've got 2 pieces, and then I'm going to line this up to the 3-inch mark. And if you wanted to, you could take the piece that you've already cut, and that's probably a great idea. I'm so glad I thought of it. So that I was worried that this side wouldn't be cut exactly the same. So once you cut one piece, go ahead and lay it on there, line it up with that 3-inch mark, move that out of the way so you don't cut it. There we go. So I mentioned at the beginning of the video about my template, and I can't wait to share with you my template, because as I was making these cards, it's kind of like a puzzle, isn't it? As I was making these cards and laying them just on my Whisper White thick card base, I was having trouble. I'm not gonna lie, it was a challenge, okay? And I have that sometimes when I'm cutting diagonals. So I thought, well, maybe I should just put it on a layer of Whisper White and then stick it to the card base. I was like, that's really a waste of paper. And we're trying to save paper here. We're trying to get more bang for our designer series buck. I made a template. We're not going to stick this to the card. Here's what we're going to do. We're just going to lay this on here. And lay this on here. And if there's a gap, if you didn't cut exactly, because I was off just a tad, even though I measured, that's okay. That's the beauty of having this template, because I'm going to show you a trick. I'm going to take a piece of black cardstock that measures 8.5 by 11. I mean, I didn't happen to have a skinny strip that was 8.5 inches, so I'm just going to go, it's about 1/4 inch. I did it 1/2 inch when I was first making the cards, and I wasn't too happy with a couple of them. I'm like, that's kind of thick. So we're going to do it thin, like a ribbon, okay? Pull in my silicone mat, and I'm going to add some snail. I would love to hear in your comments if you struggle with trying to do this, and if this tip helps you, I would be thrilled, because it sure helped me. All right, I'll bring this in a little bit closer to me and line it back up. So maybe you can see that gap there. And then I'm just going to take this and I'm going to lay it across. Rub it down really good. Pick it up. Woohoo! So you can see here where I didn't cut exactly, but it just turns out so good. I was so impressed with myself. I'm telling you, you know, sometimes you even surprise yourself when you come up with ideas. You're like, well, that worked. All right, so the designer series paper is such good quality, I didn't need to have another layer of Whisper White. So we're just going to add this to our, card base. And I like to look at it, keep my fingers underneath it, see if it's all straight. Look at that. You know what? I think I like that pattern paper better than I did just the plain gold foil. So we're going to do the same thing to this one, obviously, before we do our stamping. Get out our template again. Now see, I think that's kind of crazy. I cut that paper exactly the same. The other one didn't match up and this one did. That's okay. My little trick fixes it whether it lines up or not. Okay, again with a little 1/4 inch strip. By the way, this paper trimmer is going away. Stampin' Up! Will not be offering one, at least not for now. We always hope that maybe one day we'll get another one. But you know, I bet all of you have a paper trimmer. If you've been a crafter for very long, you have your favorite paper trimmers. I'll have to use this one for now until the blades wear out, because all the blades are gone. So, all right, again with my little trick. Give it a good back rub. Lift it up. Now, I didn't have to do 8.5, I guess, but you know, it was just the side of that layer of that piece of cardstock. And on my next layout, so stay with me because I'm going to show you another little trick. I did have to have an 8.5 inch layer. So, well, probably could have gone shorter, but it's all good. You'll see what I mean. You know, I suppose you could put ribbon across there. If you had some ribbon, you could do that. But let's just keep this easy. All right, so now we're going to be doing some stamping. And I prefer, when I'm using a punch, to stamp and then punch. And I'll show you why. What if I had stamped crooked? So I'm using the, what is it called? The tailor-made punch. It's just a little octagon or a little, what is that shape? Not octagon. All right, so I'll look it up. I'll tell you what the punch is. So I can just line it up and punch. So we're gonna do it again. And punch. So I'm going to do one more thing with my punch. I'm going to punch out 2 blacks. And I'm going to cut them up the middle because I felt like it needed to be matted. And this punch works beautifully for that. I could have put this on the paper trimmer, but it doesn't matter if this is crooked, so paper snips are fine. So I'm just going to make sure I have snail from side to side. I'm going to pick this up. And then notice how I'm lining it up and it lines up perfectly on the sides. I'm telling you, this is a perfect punch for this. There we go. Grab our dimensionals. Cover that up before I make a mess, which is very possible. Okay, so we're going to put this one here. Oh yeah, love it with the black. Really helps it pop. Again, got some masculine birthday cards for those guys in my family. All right. Let me show you the other way to do it. So this time I picked this pattern of paper. I wanted to see what it would look like. And this is super easy. You don't have to worry about that 3-inch mark. We're just gonna take it and go corner to corner. And all paper trimmers have a gutter, is what I call it, or a little tray where that blade cuts in. You're just gonna line corner to corner up and cut your paper in half. I figured out I hadn't used this pattern much, so I was like, well, let's just pick this one. Grab our template. Now this should match up perfectly. All right, what do we think about that? I think it's too busy. I don't like it. Oh, that won't work. All right, let me grab another piece because I don't like that. That's too busy. We're going to stick with this pattern, but we're going to do away with the hats for right now. decided that we're going to use lemon lime twist. I just don't think, I mean, most of these in here are just too busy, and I'm like, nope. Oh, wait, I forgot. Oh, I saw one. Hold on. Let's see what this looks like. Pardon me while I play. Ooh, that looks good. We're going to go with that. Okay. I need to trim this down to 5 1/4. It's already cut at 4. And I take my stacks of designer series paper to a local office supply place that cuts it for me for like $1 a cut. You cannot beat that. Saves me on cutting, saves my time. For $1? Oh yeah, I'll do it. Okay, back to our card. So we're gonna line this up. Just like that. And I think we're going to use a little strip of lemon lime twist. So again, on my 8 1/2 inch side, I'm just doing 1/4 inch. And this is the card that I have to have a longer strip, because even though this measures 5 1/4, it's about 6, what was it? 6 1/4, 6 1/2 inches from corner to corner. I was surprised. It's 6 1/2 inches. So that's when I cut my little strip 8 1/2 inches. You see, I don't have much waste, so it's not bad. I call them my little handles. All right, with all my moving around, did it move? There we go. All right, so here's my trick again. Oh yeah, this is cute. And then on this one, we have to trim this way and this way. Bring in our card base. I don't know, that's kind of a cool pattern too. Ha! See, you just never know. Whoops, let's move this off. Good flat surface works much better. Okay. Now let's see what it looks like if we add a different color strip. Whoops. This has to go this way, and this has to go this way. Funny, to me it looks different, I guess. I don't know. All right, we're gonna take and add some lovely lipstick. I thought that would be a fun color to do. You know, we all have scraps in our craft area. So you could, you know, just as long as the paper, for this one, as long as it's about 8 1/2 inch strip, or at least 7 inches so that you have something to hold on to, it would work. Usually my scraps, however, are this big. They're not long strips like this. So I did want to say, if you get too much adhesive on the side, like I just did, you can lay this back down and kind of rub that adhesive off. Another little tip for you guys, because it does kind of overflow to the front. All right, let's straighten this back up. Lay this across. Add this to our card. Bring in a little strip. By the time I'm done with this video, I will have, what, 8 cards? Oh, look how I stamped that crooked. Oh, good. Points out. So here's what I do is I just make sure that the punch is lined up. See, my punch is at an angle. Now I could have switched the ink up to maybe lovely lipstick or something, but you know, we're cranking out birthday cards here. I have 22 birthday cards, and that's just my kids and grandkids. Oh, let's do, okay, we're gonna need one from here and one from here. I wish I had time to make up all that whole pack of cardstock to see, or whole pack of designer series paper to see just how many cards I could get out of it. That would be a fun thing. But I have too many other things to play with right now, so I'm not going to do that right now. Ooh, maybe a future video with some new products that are coming in the new catalog. New catalog starts in June. Look at me. June 4th, you'll be able to order from the new catalog. If you do not have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and would like a catalog, I do send those out. Where'd my other one go? You can join my newsletter list and find out, see my announcements that I'm going to be having about that. Or you can email me, contact me through my website. That link is below, and tell me that you would like a new catalog. When you tell me, because you can request a catalog, make sure you give me your mailing address. I get a lot of people who say, I want a card. I want a catalog. And I'm like, okay, what's your address? Oops. Almost done. I know this video is longer, but I just had so many fun tips to share, so I decided, go for it. Now, I wanted to see something before I pull the backings off. Do I like... Nope, that just blends into the green. Well, it's going to do it over here, I guess. We're going to stick to green and green. And this, again, is Lemon Lime Twist. It is retiring. It is an in color. Stampin' Up! Brings out new colors that stay with us for 2 years, and this color has been a favorite, but it is going away. I just love bright cards. Okay. Bringing in our 4 different designs. I sure hope that y'all love these cards, and I sure hope that you love my template. Thanks for watching, guys. Didn't you just love that little template? I was cracking up. I was like, I'm going to write template on it. Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed these tips today. Let me know what you think about this video. I love reading your comments. You know, I send these videos out into the universe, and I never know what people think unless you let me know. Happy stamping, y'all.